stressed out, stressed out, stressed out. We hear this phrase over and over and over again. Why am I taking these yoga classes? Because I'm stressed out. Why did I fail on all these tests the past week? Because I'm stressed out. Why was I so short-tempered and irritable? Because I'm stressed out. We say this phrase over and over and over again. It's even backed by scientific research. According to Science News magazine, you can read all of this. That chronic stress leads to strokes, colds and flus, heart attacks, and even more aggressive cancers. Before my internship at Richmond Graduate University, I had the same impression, that stress was bad. However, after my experiment and after literature review, I learned that stress isn't really the enemy here. What is our perception of stress as bad that leads to these negative effects shown here. And believe me, we can't run away from stress. If you want to live an alive and thriving life, full of goals and full of accomplishments, we need stress. It's important for us. So it wouldn't do us much favor to remove that stress. But instead, we should embrace it. Since when we embrace that stress, we're able to increase our motivation and concentration and even remove or reduce these negative effects shown here. I do want to talk to you all about something very important. First, what a mindset is, and then the different stress mindsets that I'll share with you. A mindset is a tendency for us to think about something in a certain way. And there are two different stress mindsets that I'll be sharing with you. The first is a stress is debilitating mindset. In a stress is debilitating mindset, we believe that stress is harmful, leads to all these negative effects on us, and should be reduced and should be limited in order for us to achieve our goals. Whereas someone with a stress is enhancing mindset would believe that stress is necessary and is a tool for us to accomplish our goals. In terms of effects, people with stress as debilitating mindsets showed decreased motivation and decreased attention and concentration as they actually focus on reducing their stress levels instead of actually focusing on the stressful task at hand. And even biologically, they show lower levels of DHEAS, that being the growth hormone for positive mood. And they even exhibit either very high cortisol levels in a fight or flight response, or very low cortisol response in trauma victims. However, people with a stress enhancing mindset showed improved focus, improved concentration and attention as they actually start to focus on the stressful task instead of trying to focus on trying to reduce their stress levels. And even biologically, they show higher levels of DHEAS, and they even show a moderate cortisol response, not high and not low, but that returns to baseline after the stressful task is completed. And I know what you may all be thinking. I am telling you all to go stress is enhancing 100%. But I actually see value in the stress is debilitating mindset, especially in life or death situations where we need that fight or flight response to make decisions. So I believe that it is important for our brains to understand the difference between enhancing and debilitating stress for us to control how, for us to improve the situation for us in both stressful cases. Not much research has been done on this topic, but the majority has been done by Dr. Crum in her lab at Stanford. So, in my internship at Richmond Graduate University, we conducted a study ourselves. We took 45 participants who all identified as Middle Eastern, and after filling out demographics, they completed the first stress mindset measure. A stress mindset measure is a way for us to quantitatively determine someone's mindset from debilitating to enhancing. And we use a memory game as a stressful task, and also, of course, to monitor performance. Then they're split into two groups, stresses debilitating and stresses enhancing, where through videos and through examples, we show them that one mindset is more superior over the other. And then they retake the memory game and retake the stress mindset measure for comparison. And it turns out that after the study, we found that the people in the stress is enhancing group experience a statistically significant higher stress mindset measure compared to the people randomly assigned into the stress is debilitating group. That means that these people in the stress is enhancing group were able to utilize their stress in order to accomplish their goal, which is to do better in the memory game. And in truth, they did. So, what are the implications for this? I'm sure I'm pitching a lot to you, but how can we use it in our daily lives? Here are the 3 steps to enhancing mindsets. The first is to acknowledge that if we're going to be going into stressful situations, that we are going to be experiencing stress, that we're going to be needing stress in order to achieve those goals. So we have to have that recognition or that insight that stress will be there. But then, in that stressful situation, we need to welcome that stress by not trying to hide it away. And in that way, we are able to utilize our stress in order to accomplish that task. For instance, if I was to have a test next period, the first thing I would understand is, because I'm taking this really advanced course, I will be having many assignments and many tests and final exams that I need to worry about. So by making that decision for myself and for me to pursue higher academic goals, I will be stressed. And it's just important for me to understand that. But then in the testing room, I'm not going to be like, trying to deep breathe, trying to remove that stress. Because in reality, that stress is the thing that I need to perform better. And if I'm trying to put my mind to reducing the stress, what am I actually thinking about? I'm actually thinking about trying to reduce my stress levels. I'm being stressed about the stress instead of the literal test in front of me. But in that way, I'll be able to utilize that stress, to use the increased concentration, to use the focus, and to remove all distractions in order to actually perform better than I would if I had a stress is debilitating mindset. So, when you all go home today, I want you all to think about how you could kindle a friendship between you and stress so that stress can work many wonders for you. Thank you.